Well, I've found out that the encounter last week was nothing to do with him caring about me at all. Um, it was just to get something from me that he wanted. So listen, you can only resolve things with good communication, okay? That's it. Period. If you want something from me, you talk to me about it. You speak to me. You don't hide behind a whatever fictitious something about me and then just criticize me for it. He says we've both been hurt. Okay, how? What have I done? I've expressed some things on YouTube, yeah. And I had hidden them for a while when we got back in touch. I did that during, like, a lot of it was during the time that I'd been blocked and I wasn't allowed to speak to him, and I felt so horrible and crushed that I just had to speak it somewhere. So, yeah, I made some, video journals, and I put it out on YouTube. I mean, it's a tiny little channel, and like, it's not like anybody really of importance actually like knows about it, or it's like it's nothing. But for me, it was a way to channel, because I was blocked from speaking to him, which is a horrible thing to do to somebody that you've been in a relationship with. Horrible. Guys, don't do that. Even if, like, no matter if you hate listening to, like, just whatever. Just whatever. Like, resolve it with good communication. Even if you've broken up or whatever, like, leave the channel there. Just leave it there. Don't leave things unresolved. I'm telling you, like, it will come back to bite you in the butt. So anyway, for like 5 or 6 months I was blocked, and then well, this year, oh my god, I've got so many things to say. Huh. How did I hurt him? Like, what did I do? What did I do? Like, literally, like, you did this. You led me to believe that you were, all in with me. And then little by little, you started cheating on me, basically, and being unfaithful. And then I was still all in, December last year. And then you said, oh, I need some time to think about things. I said, sure, just don't disconnect, which meant, of course, our location app. And what do you know? A few days later, you disconnected. Ouch. It's like, so things like that. You said you wouldn't, but you did, There's a lot of other things I could say about that, about broken agreements. I didn't do that. I didn't do, like, that wasn't me. You started that chain of events. So then you said you're like, you want to move on and stuff. So I was like, sure, that was hurtful, but I was like, okay. So then in January of this year, I was like, ouch, that sucks. And then went through some, hard depression stuff, whatever. But I was accepting it and I left it. Then you reach out to me and you're like, how you're doing? I'm like, I'm fucking horrible. And then you get mad at me for expressing my feelings. I'm like, well, fuck you too. Like, but anyways, but then you apologize for it later. Found out later you'd already started dating people. I had just been there last year to see you in November when like we were fucking, we were full on, blah blah blah. Like we were, still saying like, yeah, let's give this, you know, let's keep going kind of a thing. Anyway, um but in January I didn't know you were already seeing other people and or fucking or whatever. A month or so after I'd been there and gone through hell to be there for you for your 50th birthday. Um okay. So then, but we're still friends and stuff like that. We stay friends, blah blah. March or April comes around, you start flirting with me. You're like, actually, I've been thinking, like, oh, wouldn't it have been great if we'd have worked out? And I'm like, hello? And then you're like, I've been thinking about how I could come out there and stuff. And I'm like, great, cool. But I, wasn't like, full on, like, okay, we're sealing a deal. Like, I was just like, okay, cool. And then, and then 2 days later, you're out on a date with somebody. Ouch. I asked you to tell me about it. You wouldn't tell me about it. You were evasive. And, lied to me, basically. Then you ghosted me for about 3 weeks. I said, hey, can you just please talk to me and tell me what it is? Just be honest with me. Just say what's going on. So you did that. We had a conversation. Then the next day, you I said, okay, like, we were gonna talk about some business stuff or something. And I said, like, shall we talk next week? And you're like, yeah, sure. And then the next day, like, I don't know, you messaged me and said, I'm not even gonna talk to you again. You're just gonna think we're in a relationship, which I was already done with it. And I was just like, I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to, you're like firing off these accusations. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And so, yeah, that is the only time I have lashed out with profanity, but I did that in our whole 6 years. Yeah, that was the only time I did that. So I did that, lashed out, and, in my mind, you're like, I'm never going to talk to you again. So I'm like, whatever, okay, I'm going to say exactly what I think, and you're never going to talk to me again. So we're already, I was like, I'd given up at that point. So I just said, fuck you, fuck you for using me, fuck, blah, 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 blah. Fine. So 5 months go by. I felt horrible about how it ended. I didn't like that. I wanted to at least end it on a good note. So, so I wrote to you on LinkedIn with a very sincere message saying, look, I'm really sorry for how it ended. Can we please talk to just end it well? You agreed and you said we'd talk sometime soon, blah, blah. Okay, fine. So we said, okay, cool, we would talk soon. So that was in, I guess, like probably August of this year. So we talked, or whatever. We said our sorries, and it was all good. Then there was another mishap where I always check, I was always like, are you with someone? Are you dating someone? Are you like, because I don't, I'm like, why should I try to interfere, if you're with somebody? But he knows my values. But anyways, he told me he wasn't. So anyway, like that Sunday night, we were talking about business stuff, and I was like, oh, there's one more thing I wanted to tell you, or something like that. Anyway, turned out he was on a date with somebody. So, and I had thought, like, he wasn't, because he had told me that weekend, like, yeah, I'm not doing anything, I'm not dating anybody, blah, blah, blah. So I thought, oh, well, we're all good, right? Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, I just wanted to tell him something, and then, he, he, uh, this was, Sunday evening, his time. And, anyway, so he was on a date with somebody else, and then, I was like, well, can you just, oh, no, that's right. He told me he would speak to me in about an hour when he got home. So I was like, okay, cool. So I waited up all night, and he never got back to me. So I was like, you know, you said you'd get back to me, so can you get back to me? It's sort of like, actions matching words. Can you do what you say you're gonna do? He never got back to me. I was like, hey, like, are you gonna, like, you said we could talk tonight, like, anyway, then he ended up blocking me again or something. I don't know. Anyway, so then a couple weeks later, somehow we talked again, and I had this idea of, like, maybe you could coach me, because I need a coach right now, like a business coach, right? And I was paying him, not that much, but a bit, and then I I started to think, like, I started to I don't know, I sort of thought, for many reasons, I thought it would be helpful, but whatever. Anyway, I started to miss him again and dream of him again, and then um, dream of it working out. So that okay. So what happened was, I one night during the week, instead of at our normal meetings, this was like a couple weeks ago, I said, do you ever, you know, do you still think that maybe it could work somehow? And he was like, no, no, um, very dismissive, and like, moved on, and da da da. So I was like, okay, got it. He said, sorry. I was like, okay, cool. So the next couple days, I really went through a hard time dealing with that. And it's sort of like, um, if you find out your husband's seeing other women, it's along that line. Uh, but anyway, like, that's how it feels to me. We were uh, together basically 6 years. I'll go into more of that later. Um, then um, so I thought I can't really tell him that I can't talk to him while he's seeing someone else or seeing other people. So as we were talking one night, it was friendly, you know, kind of a thing. A long time ago, I had recorded some of his conversations because sometimes he would not remember stuff that he told me, or he'd say like, "Oh, you said this," or whatever. I didn't say that, or something like that, or even just for myself to refer back to. And so, but then, you know, I told him that once and he said he didn't like that. So I knew that was like a button for him. He didn't like that. So instead of saying, I can't talk with you anymore because it hurts me so much that you're willing to just let me go and go find someone else to play with, uh, I told him I told him that I was recording him. But I didn't really mean it. I was like, we were in mid conversation and it just popped into my head because I knew I couldn't tell him that I couldn't work with him or talk to him. I knew he was um, seeing other people. So so I said, do you know that I'm recording you right now? He immediately turned off the camera and then blocked me everywhere. A couple days later, I told him, I don't even know if he read what I said. I could find it. I said, it's probably good that you blocked me because he never reads my messages. It just doesn't matter to him. He just used me. Oh, yeah. I said something like, sorry, I said, you know, it's going to go on and on until it's actually resolved and we have like a good, clean, you know, kind of a thing. It's not going to end. Why would he flirt with me like 2 days ago? Trying to get me to send him nudes and stuff, you know, like flirting with me, like really flirting with me. If this was totally done and we're never going back, you know. Anyway, I'm losing track of my thoughts. It does that. So basically, I am So he blocked me, and then, on all social media accounts at that point, right then and there. And then I went, okay, well, I guess everything was all fake then, and he was just love bombing me, and, you know, I was never really that special to him. And even though he gave me an engagement ring, and we went through so much stuff, and like whatever, he told me that he loved me, and I was the love of his life, and blah blah blah, whatever. So he just used me because he knew that I was all in, and I, you know, loved him and everything, and he just used my willingness. So I just figured that, you know, um, I just had to conclude that that was it. Then, like a few days ago, he messaged me and was like, well, and I'm like, well, what? Like, I was thinking he was never ever gonna write to me ever again. We're never gonna talk again, and we just become strangers again. Um, um, he doesn't read anything I said to say to him. It just never means anything. Um, so it was a few days ago, a couple days ago, and I didn't think I'd hear from him again, which was sad for me, but I was trying to um, survive regardless. Fucking hell. Then, just kind of like going around in life in a stupor, dead inside kind of a thing. So he said, well, and then he started flirting with me. Of course, I'm gonna think it's real because I wanted to trust what he was saying was real. I asked him if he missed me. He said he did. Then he said the next day, I didn't, send him any like nudes or whatever. I just was like playing it cool, kind of a thing, kind of excited by the attention, but whatever. Next day, he played it off. Hey there, sorry about last night. I'll send you a message later sometime to give you a better understanding of what is happening on my side, which I found out he was only messaging me to get something from me. I said, please don't worry about it. You often express something and then later apologize or say you regret it for some reason. Okay, I'm not gonna read everything, but whatever. Anyway, I sent a few more messages. He never responded. I sent him a birthday present. No response to that. I sent him my heart again, my sincerity. No response. I said something like, do you want me to not contact you until then, like until next week? Or is it something friendly over the weekend? He said, doesn't matter much to me. I'll mute notifications if it's too much. I said, okay, I won't contact you again until you tell me what you're going to tell me. Please tell me soon, blah, blah, blah. Then he says, were you thinking of sending me pictures of your titties or something? I might do it tonight if I can. I was like, haha, this was Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Wednesday. That's yesterday. Last night. So then he teased me about that. Anyway, I joked with him about it, and then he sent me another message saying, like, oh, I'm going through such a stressful period right now. Anyway, I told him, look, I'm here for you if you need someone to talk to. And I meant it. In one ear out the other. He probably never even read it. I said, are you gearing up to tell me it was all a mistake? An anomaly, which he said before, earlier in the year when he had that mistake happen between he and I, and then went out on a date a couple days later and lied to me about it. Messy because you're seeing someone else or have feelings for someone else. God damn it. Please give me the truth. You flirted with me, you owe me at least a conversation and me the chance to square things away. I had already let go, and then you reappear. Do the courtesy of speaking to me and treat me like a human being and not just a plaything. Grant? Anyway, okay, so anyway, this then sends me into another tailspin. And here we are. I spent yesterday crying, today more crying, and he doesn't think it matters. He doesn't care. And he flirts with me and plays around with me and then, tells me he still wants me and then drops it. It's like, come on. Don't do that. Like, that's just so fucking weak. I'm sorry, but like, it's not okay to give a woman the idea that you're interested, and then, especially after everything we've been through over the past 7 years, and then just be like, oh, it's all your fault. I'm not interested in you anymore. Give me a fucking break. I'm sorry. I will try to put this into coherent thoughts and actually write a script because I need to say it. It's not okay. And I can't talk to him. And he just, yep, see ya. I got better things to do. Wow, real mature, buddy. Just fucking talk to me. Whatever. I will make a more coherent speech when I'm more put together, if I don't go jump off a cliff before then. See you later.